Hey guys, so this is our diary entry for July 2020, and we thought we'd just give you some updates on our progression with interdimensional beings, extraterrestrial beings. There's been a fair bit of hype in the news with UFO confirmations that these crafts that have been found in the US are actually not from this world. And Pete, you might want to elaborate on that for the guys.
Well, first of all, some information came out from the US Navy. It was like footage that they put out and then just left. And people have even had some from British Navy as well, but basically showing unexplainable lights and the reaction of the pilots. So the pilots are in the jets, they're seeing these lights and they're narrating going, whoa, you know, they're at whatever speed and something's shooting straight up and accelerating away, and just really interesting stuff. And that's been out for a few months. But then last weekend, New York Times did a story talking about how the Pentagon has made an official statement saying that they had discovered some wreckage, some footage was acquired, and they went and checked it out, and they have found craft, and they've had crash sites that, in their words, were not of this world, and they weren't quite sure what to make of it. And for those of you who, you know, are probably going, oh, you know, there's ETs and alien conspiracies people out there. Well, you know, this would be the first time where you get an official government source actually saying on the record, look, we've got something here, we don't know what it is, but what we are saying is it's not of this world. For those of you who have done a little bit more reading, a little bit more digging, you'll probably be more up to speed with the information along the lines of, hey, these things have been around for a long time. You do any real research and real digging, you soon find that there are carvings, there are paintings in caves, there are mentions in many of the ancient scripts from many different civilizations. We can just talk about the Indians, the Chinese, and then of course in South America, talking about craft. They talk about the chariots of the gods arriving. They do paintings and drawings of craft in the sky. And there have been many predictions for this year of gradual disclosure. So what that means is the government and the powers that be are starting to gradually get the mass population used to this idea that there might actually be life outside of just the Earth. And there'll be many of you watching this going, yeah, it's like, duh. But there's a lot of people though who it rattles their belief system if this was to be something which is announced. So the authorities are going to be super careful with how they do that, because of course we're brought up on these massive big religious structures which have all these wonky ideas about civilization, you know, being around 10,000 years old. And I mean, really, when you start digging, it seems ridiculous. But this is what they've got to deal with, because there's an official line of communication and that's taught in schools and universities, and people put their name to it. And then for us, at a personal level, we went into it all, had a little bit of a dig around, and then Roxanne started to get a few readings, and then a
little bit of back, if you're just joining us, we've been doing some diary entries for the last few months since this kind of has been progressing. And basically, since we started to awake last year in 2019, we were raising our vibration, we were removing negative programs, false beliefs in our systems, and dropping off that excess baggage, which meant our frequency was getting risen, and we're becoming lighter bodies. We're meditating daily, grounding daily, and connecting through meditation through the alpha level, and then ascending up through the gateways interdimensionally. So I've been able to contact interdimensional beings like source, God force beings, and also extraterrestrial beings. And we've been getting readings, and my readings have always said that I've got a past with extraterrestrial beings, and they're here around me, supporting me. And that is a synchronicity with my meditations, because my meditations, I'm constantly getting all sorts of different looking ETs and aliens in my meditation vision space. I'm very, very visual in my meditation. And we've just been logging this just to show you what progress. Like I went through last year not even believing it, and then going to Brother Dan, gosh, is there such thing as aliens? Like it freaked me out and I was scared for some time. But as I've prepped and gone into meditation and raised my vibration and elevated my consciousness, all the fears that lay in a 3-dimensional realm are being dropped off my being and out of my body, and I'm rising up and I'm becoming more fearless. And so with this month, we've been going out and watching the stars every night on the driveway, and we see moving objects, and they're not planes. We see planes, we know what they look like, and this is just such an odd thing for us to be into, but we just feel so excited, and we're expanding our awareness outside of this planet. Obviously there must be other things in the universe. We have no idea. There's no proof. So that's why we've been logging these little updates and different things. And, it feels right. We're excited about it. And, things have been happening. So what else has been happening?
Well, I think there's different degrees of connection. I think we all need to remember that we all experience things relative to our own perspective. So Roxanne's super sensitive. So now she's at the point where she basically can close her eyes, and 5 or 10 minutes into a meditation, there might be beings around her. She might be getting downloads. She might be getting told, they're telling me to do this, or they're giving me whatever it is, a message about something that's going on. Where for myself, 9 times out of 10, 10 times out of 10, I don't connect to anything. I mean, I close my eyes and I get nice and relaxed, and I visualize my chakras, and I dissipate the stress, and I come back out and I feel lighter and brighter, and I feel a whole lot better, and I go on with my day. But hey, I'm not seeing any little green men. And it is, though, if I have a ayahuasca ceremony, or if I do some breath work and I get right into the breath work exercise and get myself to that point, I find I can connect. And it's like a little bit like, if there was a manhole and you were in the manhole and someone lifted the cover off and there were like these heads looking in. I get this thing like light beings around me sort of looking in. And it's like the feelings that I have from time to time when I'm really in flow and I feel like they're encouraging me and pushing me on with whatever we're doing in our day-to-day progress. It's like that feeling, but when I'm connected, it's like there's 4 or 6 heads there looking in, and they're like a golden outline of light and energy. And it's like the feeling's overwhelming. It's like bliss. I'll often cry, I get tears just from the awe and the beauty, and it's difficult to explain. It's tears of joy, put it that way. Like it's the feeling of just bliss and overwhelm in the power of that connection. And that was with breath work, simply lying on the floor, doing structured breathing to music for around 1 hour. And, probably 10 minutes in, I just felt myself connect. I think it's because of the daily meditation, it facilitates that ability to let go and to connect. And so for me, that's a simple modality, something I can do. And at the moment, we try and do breath work or some sort of connecting at least once a week, meditating every day, staying connected. For Roxanne, she basically connects every day.
Yeah, I'm connecting. Yeah, I'm connecting every day, anchoring light to try and raise the vibration for humanity. And that's simply by visualizing a light stream coming from the 12th dimension down into the Earth's core and sending that energy via visualization and just like having and setting that intention. And through that, like, that's helping the Earth, that's helping people, our sisters and our brothers. But back to the ETs in particular, because that's what the journal's on. We watch ET, like the UFOs or unidentified objects flying around the sky every night, getting about 5 to 10, maybe up to 15. And I've been getting like prepped to getting told in my meditations that there'll be a meeting soon in the real flesh by a fourth dimensional being, and take what resonates with this. I'm just telling a story, and I have no idea what the outcome will be. We're just logging this, to see what happens. And so it's been telling me about like at night time is when it'll kind of happen, which obviously scared me at the beginning because it's like scary and dark and all the rest of it. But so they've said about 12 o'clock, and it's always synchronicity numbers. So 12:12 or 12:10, I don't know why, or 1 o'clock, 1 a.m., 111, like 1:11 in the morning. Anyway, so this hasn't been happening. I haven't had the urge to wake up and actually go outside yet until last night. So last night was the first night that this happened. I woke up and I felt funny, and I thought, I'm just going to lay here and meditate in bed because I couldn't sleep. And so I pictured anchoring light. I'll do that to help the earth and humanity. So I started doing that, and as I slowly drifted off to sleep, the door slammed. And it's winter here. We had our door open like a tiny bit, but our main bedroom door is open so we can hear the kids. But it slammed, and it wasn't that windy at all. And I thought, that's odd. Someone's trying to get my attention here. So I reach across to look at my phone, and the time is 1:11, 1 a.m., 1:11 a.m. I'm like, it's time to go outside. And I just had this calling. It was like this knowing I had to go outside. So I said, Pete, hey, let's go outside. It's time. And he's like, all right. Like, gets out of bed half asleep. It was pretty funny. But I just knew it was the time. And I haven't really been chasing this. I've dropped the attachment or any idea of any outcome at all, because that's just going to prolong anything that's going to happen, right? So we go outside and we look at the stars, and it's a crystal clear night. And for the whole weekend, it's been raining. The stars were shimmering. Pete, you saw a shooting star. And I had this feeling while looking at the stars going, it's a message and a test to see if I'd actually go outside and be brave enough to take that step and, show that I was actually engaged and ready for this process. And we came back inside, and Pete goes, I reckon that was a test just to see whether or not we'd actually go outside. And I thought, oh my God, there's another synchronicity. I said to Pete, that's exactly what I felt in my heart when I was outside looking at the stars, So yeah, this is what's going down.
So we got the plan tonight. She's had, what do you call it? A feeling, a message. There's a place probably about 40-minute drive from here. It's got a cross in the name. So it's a big park, and it's like part of an old forestry area. So there's some big trees in there. So we're going to this old park, and we're going to take the kids and go up there and have an early dinner and lie out under the stars and see what comes of it. So
and the kids are familiar with looking at moving objects. Xavier, our son's actually so good at spotting them. He's like, keep your eye on that one while I look for another one, Mum and Dad, because he's laughing how good his eyes are because he's much younger than us. It's so funny. They're just loving it. They're connecting. We're going in nature. We're showing them connection. We're looking at the stars. Most kids are in the house watching TV. Like, it's time to start teaching these children a little bit of nature. Like, even by spotting out, not moving objects, you don't have to do that. You could
they get a kick
spot
out of a
like
satellite,
the
there'll
satellite,
be a blinking satellite
or just
go past.
figuring
and
out the Milky Way, or the, Orion's belt, or the Southern Cross. There's so many things that you can show them and teach them.
Yeah. So we'll keep you posted, and let you know if anything comes of it over the next night or two, when we go up and do a little bit of stargazing. And of course, if there is any real connection, we'll be right back in here doing another diary log. So thanks for tuning in.
Bye.